Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing good. Today we are going to learn about DNS, that is Domain Naming Service. In AWS, the domain naming service available under Route 53. When you go to the global search and search for Route 53, you will find the service Scalable DNS Domain Name Registration. First, we'll learn what is DNS and how we can host a DNS for our web applications. DNS stands for Domain Name System. It is like a phone book for your internet. For example, when you type google.com or swiggy.com or zomato.com, these names will convert in the backend that translates into an IP address like 142.250.190.78, something like this. So as we cannot remember those IP addresses, we will be remembering this domain naming systems, that is DNS, just like google.com or zomato.com. Today we'll learn how AWS Route 53 manages this DNS. To do this lab, you required one domain to be purchased from any of the domain naming services. For example, GoDaddy or Namecheap, etc. You can own one domain from there. You have to buy one domain from GoDaddy or Namecheap. There are some free domain registers are available. However, that will take a lot of time. That is up to you. If you want to do a quick lab or you want to take 24 to 48 hours. So I will be doing from GoDaddy register domain. GoDaddy registration is very simple. You can use your Facebook account, Google account, LinkedIn account, whatever the account that you have, you can link that with your GoDaddy. Just go to the Google and search for godaddy.com, and it will ask you to search a domain that you are required. If the domain is already exist, it will tell type the domain that you want, search the domains. If the domain is already existed, then it will not allow you to take the same domain. You have to keep on search until the domain doesn't exist in the GoDaddy. So once you have this domain created, it is very simple process. You have to search for the domain. If that exists, you have to purchase that. For 1 year you will they'll charge 20 to 50 rupees INR. So once you purchase your domain, that will show under your domains. These are the list of domains that you have under overview. I have only one domain purchased for this demo, that is rishidemo.xyz. Once you have purchased your domain, you will host this domain in AWS Route 53. Just go to the Route 53 service from the global search. Click on hosted zones. And now just click on create hosted zone. Here the domain name you have to give whichever the domain that you have purchased from GoDaddy. For example, I am giving rishidemo.xyz and just create the hosted zone. I already have created that. I'm not doing it right now again. See, this is my hosted zone created. Inside this hosted zone, you will have some records and also the name servers. The name server will tell you like where to route the traffic to. By default, these two types of records are already created when you create a hosted zone inside AWS. That is NS type record, that is name server, and also a SOA record, that is authority record, start of authority record. Why this name server is helpful? When you go, when you purchase a domain in GoDaddy, when you go and check, it will be having its own name servers, so that whenever you type rishi.com in your browser, it will route the traffic to those name servers. Since you wanted to host this name servers in AWS, you have to copy these 4 name servers that AWS is providing and update those name servers in GoDaddy. These are the 4 name servers that AWS is providing. Those name servers have to update that in the GoDaddy. Just a moment, I have got logged out. Let me sign in once again. When you update those name servers in GoDaddy, whenever you type the domain name rishidemo.xyz, then that will route the traffic to these name servers which are hosted on AWS. Then from there, AWS will route the traffic based on the records that we have provided. Okay, this is my GoDaddy domain. When you go to DNS name service, I have updated my name service already. When you are seeing the GoDaddy by default name servers, you can change the name servers from here. You can add how many ever name servers that you want. As of now, AWS has provided only 4 name servers for me to route the traffic to this domain. I have updated all 4 in this. Okay, as I already done, it is not allowing me to save once again. These are 4 name servers that I got from AWS and I have updated in the GoDaddy. Once you have updated the name servers, whenever you type rishidemo.xyz, all the traffic will go to these name servers inside the AWS. Let us do a quick demo how this name resolution is gonna happen. For doing a quick demo, you just need to create one EC2 server. And that has port SSH port access and also HTTP 80 port access via security group. Have created one web server in the public subnet, and that has a security group which has SSH access and also HTTP 80 port access. So let me log into this web server now. Copy the public IP of that web server. And go to the putty tool and enter the username at the rate public IP address. Authenticate via private key that you have selected while creating that EC2 server. Okay, now I'm able to log into EC2 server. Now I'll be installing the Apache web server or Nginx web server, whichever you want to install, and do a quick test. For now I'll be doing it via Apache web server. Let me do sudo yum update -y first to update my server. Sudo yum update -y. Okay, there is no updates pending. Let me do Apache installation. Sudo yum install httpd-y. As my system is already have this Apache installed, so it is telling that has already done. So you can do sudo systemctl start httpd and enable httpd, so that the Apache web server will get started. Now let us create a simple web page. You can create a web page under var www.html. Under that you can create one index.html. If you are familiar with HTML coding, then you will know how that web page gets created. Let me show you how that looks like. That is very simple. Everybody will be able to understand what does that mean. If you go to var www.html page, HTML directory, under that you can create index.html. Let me show how my index.html just look like. .html. This will just tell a title of the page is server1, and just I've given just a background color. And you can also get IP address of your server just to confirm this traffic is coming from the same server. I can do some curl or JQ or any other tools that you can use and get the IP address here. So this is very basic HTML page that I have created. Okay, now in this server you have hosted one of the website with the HTML page. So when you copy the public IP of your EC2 server and do HTTP traffic, then it will show that HTML page that you have hosted. HTTP traffic for this public IP. See, same HTML page with light blue color. Welcome to server 1. This is my AWS demo. The IP address also you can print as I told. So now I want to test. I don't want to remember this public IP every time. So I want to give a naming to this IP address. How can I do that? That can be achieved via this Route 53 hosted zones. So we already have a hosted zone created, right, with reshidemo.xyz. So for that we will be adding some records how to route the traffic for this domain. So we will be creating a record. Basically we will be having number of records. We mostly used A type and C name records. A type record will tell you which IP address that I have to route the traffic from this domain. Okay, the C name record will tell you this is another domain name that we are gonna give for example, if you wanna route the traffic from rishidemo.xyz and also www.rishidemo.xyz, both should point to the same IP address, then you have to give one name as CNAME record. That is a duplicate record, that you could say. And yeah, those two are very basic records that we will be using every time. So you can leave this record name as it is, so that it will take rishidemo.xyz, or you can give it as www.rishidemo.xyz. And you have to provide your public IP of your machine here. Duplicate the session and get the public IP of your machine. Copy the public IP and give it as a record type. And TTL is time to live, how long this session has to live when you enter this. That is what TTL will tell you. By default it will give 300 seconds, so recommended value from 360 to 17 to 800. Till 2 days the session can live, but the recommended value is 300. So go ahead and create a record. What this a name record will do, this is the record that we have created. These two name servers and SO are automatically created when you host a zone in AWS, right? What this record will tell you, whenever the user enter www.rishidemo.xyz, route all the traffic to this IP address, means your EC2 server, so that it will serve the same web page. So instead of this page, http and rishidemo.xyz. Okay, it is still serving the GoDaddy page. However, I have created just now, so it will take time for GoDaddy to sync this name servers, at least 1 or 2 hours. Eventually, when you don't need to remember the IP address of your machines, and you will just remember the URLs of the machine, that domain name resolution will be done in AWS by Route 53 service. I hope you understand this concept. If you have a doubt whether this name service has been correctly updated in your machine or not, you can go to your PowerShell or any terminal that you have. You can type ns lookup -type equals to ns and your domain name. That will show which name servers that it is actually serving to. If you are seeing now, these two name servers are not related to AWS, it is still showing GoDaddy name service. That's the reason you are not getting the actual page. It will take 1 or 2 hours of time to update those name servers, even though you have updated in the GoDaddy. And one more thing you have to remember, once these name servers are updated, you can check this domain name is now routing to your public IP of your EC2 machine. Yeah, as I said, this resolution will take at least 1 or 2 hours time once you have created domains and updated the name service. Thank you for watching this video. We'll do another session tomorrow. Thank you.